And welcome to the pre-show for Whimsy Live. Oh, radio voice? Why is my music not playing? Because I forgot to hit play. There you guys go. Welcome to the show. Setting up. I just got back, so I'm running like 3 minutes behind. So hang out. 10 minutes. Make sure you say hi in the chats. Look at the Patreon. We got some new stuff on there. So take a look, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, got 6 minutes. All right, pre-show idea, right, is I go on the socials, right, once a week because I've scheduled different posts like 3 days a week. Reminder there's a new episode, like a question of the day, and then a reminder to sign up and subscribe. Maybe I had one more day where I'm like pre-show Q&A. I'm thinking get people to submit some questions, and then every pre-show I would read said question and see if I can get 10 minutes out of it. Which kind of reminds me of like a mind pocket that I have already for this or for Saturday. So I'll expand on that Saturday for the mind pocket, but Q&A, you submit a question, and then that way it gives me something to talk about for the 10 minutes before the show starts. Kind of like some warm up work. Where's my hands? Hold on. Hand check. I'm not doing. Oh, lame. How do I fix that? I'm going to have hands today. There we go. Yeah, we got hands. Well, remember, Kitschy's my. So as long as Kitschy's right there, I don't like that you guys got the bathroom door right there. So before I get the post on the socials for Saturday, in the comments, in the chats, Whimsy at chasingthewhimsy.com, leave me a question and I'll go through them and I'll pick one. And then I can do my pre-shows based off of a question. Like, what's your favorite color? And let's see if I can get 10 minutes or 5 minutes out of what's your favorite color. I probably could do this right now because there's 4 minutes left, but I don't want to. All right. Palms itching. I think did I talk about that the other day? They say superstitiously, if your palm itches, you're going to come into some money. Which means maybe I get a new Patreon subscriber. That'd be sick. That'd be cool. I'll take that. There was one time when I was working at the bowling alley that for a week, every time my palm itched during one of the leagues, I'd go buy a raffle ticket, right? The 50-50. Half goes to the winner and half goes to the league. 3 different times every time I palm itched that week, I went and bought tickets. Mother won it 3 times. Now, it would be fact 3 for 3. Those are pretty good odds. That's science odds, right? You need 100% to confirmation. Boom, 3 for 3. Or, like, it could have been the fact that I just bought lots of tickets. It was like one of those things where, like, I maybe won $40, which means like 80 tickets were bought, but like 20 of it was mine. So, like, some of it could just be the odds. But again, if you're playing the odds to go 3 for 3, I'm thinking that there was probably something supernatural about it. The palm. So, I don't know. And then, just to be a total douche about it, like, I just stopped playing every time after that. Because I didn't want to push my luck. Because I didn't want to break the streak of the 3 for 3. But, let's see. Now, is it the palm? Like all of this is palm, yes? So, I guess it's right here. Yeah, I might come into some money. We got 10 people here. All 10 of you guys subscribe to the Patreon. Patreon.com/chasingthewhimsy. There's a $4 tier. Show some support. Help out. And then a portion of your funds will also go towards the Holiday Family Assistance Program that we do in December. So I should update Patreon with that. No takers. You don't exist anymore, to be fair. But remember that, because I did go on to the Patreon and I did update like a coupon code for people who subscribe to the gift tier on the gift month, right? So anybody who subscribes right now, because this was the gift month, you have to wait 2 more months until March to get your gift, right? So put a coupon code in there that is like half off for January, since your January subscription doesn't go towards the March gift. You need the February, March to get the gift. So I should go in there, update that both tiers of portion goods donated. I did not update the slide yet. For you'll see it on the back end. But yes, we're going to take a portion of what we make on Patreon because you guys support us. You don't have to. We appreciate it. We want to give back a little bit more to our community, and we do that through the Family Assist program. We're looking to raise $1,000 this year. We already have 500. I've already put 500 in. That's how much I have faith in you guys in subscribing. We'll talk more at the end of the show, but right now let's go ahead and let's get the show started. Hello and welcome to Whimsy Live. That's the wrong button. Grandma, you there? Like, you know what we should do? Like, I haven't done that in a while. We should do like I should have a page or somewhere on the top here. Days since, like back in the day, they used to have like the days since last workplace accident. We should totally do that because I just messed up the I just messed up twice now in one day. That's where we're at. Oh man. So we are now 0 days since last show mess up. So we're gonna move forward here. Uh, so lame. Grandma used to point it out. She's like, yeah. So every time I do it now, it's a nod to grandma. Yeah, you know, maybe I did it on purpose. Carol Burnett used to like tug on her ear for "Goodnight, Mom," right? Maybe me just messing up the live stream is a little nod to grandma, right? We got the mom wave, right? Which I've stopped doing, and I'm going to start doing it from now on. Every time that number moves up, a wave. Um, hey, um, yeah. So yeah, maybe it wasn't a mess up. Maybe it's just I love my grandma. Screw you guys. Uh, I can't go back. Can I go back 2 seconds? Like, is that a thing? Okay, here we go. Whimsy Nooners. It is Monday. It is noon. Statistically, probably one of the best times out of the week for views, engagement, uh, or the exact opposite of that, and everybody's working. So I appreciate those of you who do show up, who play me in the background, come back and watch on the back end. Whimsy Nooners, first time here. I, I just wanted to do like Monday is the only consistent day that I have off at noon. Uh, and I just thought it would be fun to do like an afternoon show. And very quickly did I realize it's the worst time to do one. And I'm consistent. It's a passion project. What do we do on Nooners? Tell you what I've been up to all week. Tell you what some TV movie recommendations if I have any, and then something on the back end. Typically, some kind of rabbit hole that I fell down throughout the week. I do a little presentation and let you guys know a little bit about whatever rabbit hole I fell down. Some of the past rabbit holes, um, Tetris, right? We did some Tetris. Um, does anybody remember the first one that I did? I was going back and I was looking because I was deleting some pictures and stuff off of the Canva. Do you remember what the first random rabbit hole was that I fell down? Like it blows my mind. I love it. Um, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to go back, put it in the chats. But yeah, there's something interesting, funny, just whatever, just to round out the last 20 minutes of the show. So, welcome if this is your first time, and welcome back if you guys have been here before. All right. And as we start the first segment, nailed it. You to know me. Again, this section, I just tell you a little bit about myself, what I've been doing all week. Uh, Sometimes some exciting car stuff is happening, and sometimes nothing is happening, and I gotta like like find the most mundane thing that I've done and then somehow make it exciting for you guys. Uh, this week, for example, a very small existential crisis. Nothing crazy. I've been on an emotional roller coaster this week. Not so much now. Last week for sure. Mind Pockets helped a little bit. Uh, Go back and watch Mind Pockets 42, 43, whatever one was Saturday. I go a little bit deeper into the because like the roller coaster was I'm in my head about something, and then it's like I'm lonely, and then it's like I forgot who I am, and then it's like nobody wants to watch me, but I don't care, and it's like this up and down. Uh, I thought it was one. I think it's semi-normal. I don't think most people talk about it. Sometimes people kind of just distract themselves and kind of just avoid it. Uh, so every so every Monday, I'll tell you that I am semi uh, like in the head. So um, some of the highlights, because I'm not going to go rehash it all. I'm in a like it's not a bad place. So I know sometimes people get worried. I have to kind of like reassure. Like this is a real reassure, and not like 2023. Like oh, I'm totally fine. Sad dad episode. Um, it's the like I don't know. Maybe it's more like an identity crisis. Ooh, that could be. It's more along those lines, right? I'm very happy with what I'm doing today, 2025. For the most part, I'm in a good place. Probably the best place I've been in a while. Kids are good. Everybody's happy. Everybody's healthy. Like everything is. There's nothing wrong. It's good, and it's going to be a very boring 2025. I'm totally fine with that. But as we podcast, right? We're doing the road to 100. So after you watch this, check out our page for the first two episodes of the W's of Whimsy, the road to 100. And with the road to 100 and posing a different question every week and then kind of deep diving in on it a little bit, it just like I'm overthinking a bunch of it. But the identity crisis, I think, is kind of like as we tell stories, I'm realizing I've lost chunks of like memory past wise. Um, so some of it was like, oh my god, uh, I'm losing Ben. Obviously, who we are today is based off of the things that we've our life experience. But like some of it's like looking backwards, I'm like, I don't know like I saw a friend today, Gooster, and she was like, "Hey, I remember these two stories," and I'm like, "I don't remember any of those." Well, I remembered one of them, but I'm like, "I don't remember it." And it was just this idea of, for me personally, it's not even podcast related. It's just me personally is wanting to go back and remember the different iterations of Ben. So, um, we're always constantly growing. We have different chapters and eras of one's life. Like I used to work in a bowling alley, and that was all I did 24/7. I lived with a bunch of people who worked at the bowling alley. I worked at the bowling alley, and then I bowled at the bowling alley. And I did not send texts out to anybody for the show today. So I appreciate you guys for showing up. Thank you. Um, the Then there's like after the bowling alley, I bought the house, and that was just like a drunken stupor. And I worked a bunch, so like I remember some of it, but there's really nothing happening like that. But the idea is as I reach 2025, like I'm going to start snagging people from my past, reminisce a little bit. One, because it's fun. Malio, I reached out to after, God, he had to have moved away 10 years ago? No. Okay. Liam's 10. No, Liam's 15. Had it been almost 20 years ago. I reached out to a random guy from 20 years ago. And I was like, hey, what's going on? So now I'm gonna approach him and be like, hey, you want to talk about shit that we did 20 years ago? Uh, and then as I, take this journey that I'm trying to do, just start remembering some of the cooler things of old Ben. I'm boring now. I think maybe that's part of the problem too. Is like I don't feel like I'm doing anything exciting. Like there's no drama. Like there's nothing happening. So maybe it can't be because I'm bored because I'm fucking podcasting like a crazy person. But yes, that was my emotional roller coaster for most of the week. Is just going through these motions of like, who was I? Have I forgot them? How do I get those stories back? Two, and then it's like super lonely because I'm not in drama, and then it's just like, but uh, I don't know. That's why we do. That's why the reality is I do the two live streams. I talked to somebody today who was like, "You shouldn't do so many shows," and I was like, "This is all therapy for me, man. This is free. I get 2 hours of therapy a week for free. So the hell with you guys." Um, but yeah, no need to worry. Everything is fine. We're good. I'm in a happy place. Great day yesterday with the kids. Liam and I rearranged the Arizona room. We're gonna start work. We're gonna build a little gym for us. So he helped put the mats together. Um, we minus the eye what we want to buy. We're gonna get a heavy bag, I think, in the next couple of weeks. So he was a good time. We podcasted. We had a good time. Sophie, amazing. She's so cool. She jumped on the podcast a little bit yesterday. Uh, she played shopping yesterday in the yard. She's so funny because she got a shopping cart for Christmas. So she's like, I want to play shopping. I'm like, dude, do it. And then she's like, let's bring out all the toys. I'm like, I'm not cleaning up all the toys. I said, whatever you bring out, you have to put back. So she's like, fine. And she just brings out so much stuff. So much. But so she comes, so she goes in the yard, to her little clubhouse, and then comes back. And then I'm the store owner, and she is the the shopper. So every time she comes in, I was like, what's the name of the store? Sweet Rolls. So it was Sweet Rolls. So every time so she just repeats the same, like just the same day over and over and has a blast with it. She comes up with her little stroller and she's like, hey, Sweet Rolls. I'm like, hey. So I was like, my name is Old Man. And she's like, no, you're not your dad. I'm like, oh, I'm the shop guy. I'm Old Man. And it took her about two rotations of the routine. And then she started rolling up and was like, hey, Old Man, sweet rolls. And then, oh man, she was so much fun. Like, it took her a minute to kind of like get into character and to let me, uh, yeah, so we did that for a little while yesterday. We were out there for a bit. Good day. And it's like going back to like the identity crisis thing that I'm having is like going back to like why do I want to record so much all the time? And it's for moments like right now that if I ever I don't remember the stupid little games that Liam and I played 10 years ago, when he was 4 or 5. I know that we played, but I don't know like the little nuances of like what our roles were and the specifics of it. But part of like what I'm wanting to do is like now on the internet, like there's a there's someone write this down, right? Clip it or whatever. Like there's a there's a moment now that I can go refer back to in which I'm like, oh yes, Sweet Rolls was the name of the shop that I owned and I was old man. Uh, because I don't know, like there's like I can't remember anything from when I was 5. Um, like hanging out with grandma, um, you know, when I used to because I was a boy, right? I'm like, I don't kiss girls. You, yeah. but instead of giving kisses, I would always make like an animal noise. And Grandma at one point kind of forgot that. She's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'll just have a different animal. So, um, like this, the idea that we have these little things that we can refer back to if needed. Um, and to be honest, like you probably don't even need to go back and like I don't know. I think I'm the only person right now in the world that's like, hey, what was the name of the fucking shop that I I created in my head when I was playing shopping and when I was 5, fucking 36 years ago. Um, but if I ever, I don't know, if Liam's ever 41 and goes through a similar identity crisis, we have a podcast in which we talked. He can remember some of those things and the conversations that we had. So the I don't know if it's the end of the roller coaster. It's even it out. It's good. We're super good. I'm back on track. Um, Very happy. So, but very nostalgic, and I think that's the second part I was trying to get to. Um, so now I'm just thinking, right now that I'm super nostalgic about everything. I mean, I've to be fair, I've been like that for a while. I think I want to focus it, and I'm going to somehow create like this nostalgia tour for myself, in which I I, I identify the different like we'll call it like there's like 4 different bands that I want to remember, and then what I'll do is find ways to. Some of it will be like cleaning out the garage and going through old boxes and remembering those things and be like, boom, put that in that file. Talking to some friends and some stories and stuff. I talked to Gooster and she said she'd come on, not actually on the podcast, but she would like record with me. I'll interview with the vampire style, where I just like tell me your story, and then she'd tell her story a little bit, and then I would just have them for reference, and then I can take that conversation and create another and then like I can retell some of those old stories and stuff. So um, I don't know what the nostalgia tour looks like, and I don't know when it's going to happen. There was almost going to be the rabbit hole we were going to fall down, but it's too much in its infancy for me to actually iron out what the hell it is that I want to do with it. Um, so yes, we're in a good place. We're nostalgic. We're gonna have some fun. Um, what else have we been doing this week? If you're on our Patreon, you already know. You've already seen it. But for those of you who have not, uh, we got a web comic or a comic strip. I keep calling it a web comic because it's going to be a comic strip on the internet, but it's not really a web comic. A web comic kind of has a different tone and theme to it and layout. So it's definitely a comic strip that I'm going to be posting. Right. Um, this just happens to be the first comic strip that will be posted shortly, hopefully by middle of the week or early next week. But just want to give you guys a sample of the comedy you're going to get from it. These are going to be whimsy doodles. Sarah does the little whims, and Kit now is doing whimsy doodles. Uh, that's supposed to be me, right? We got some dad gnome. Hey, this place looks like it will work out well. He's just walking around a blank page. Yeah, got it. He's like nailing it. He's like, I like this. And he's like, oh, there's a light switch. What do you do? Oh, maybe I turned it on. What happens when you turn it on? Boom! New comic coming soon. So dumb. I wrote. I absolutely love. Like, I'm not good at it, but making little comics is so much fun. Sarah, when she was doing them, uh, just writing a script. I don't even know how to write. Like, I don't know if it's. I don't think I'm doing it in any kind of like traditional comic book strip way, but I'm able to convey my vision, and it's super fun. to watch someone take. Uh, I give the title, a description of who's in the comic and a little bit of like what's happening, and then I will write each panel and what each panel like in my head when I see it. So I think panel one said uh, blank page, the dialogue, and he's like looking around, and just the idea that it's just so much fun. And then like they get it, and they're like, this is better than what was in my head. To be fair, so it is super cool. The idea, right, is the gnome left Little Whims. He's coming over to Whimsy Doodles. He's looking at a blank page. He's like, "This is gonna be perfect. This is gonna be like we're gonna be hanging out here for a little bit." Like weirdly, like very. It's a very self-aware. Like this one is a very self-aware comic, and I just absolutely love it. There's a couple others. I think the next one, the second one, is going to be same thing. I have 10 completed. I have them half formatted. Now I just have to format them for socials. The right now, I need some feedback, and I'll post something on the Patreon. This one and the next one are going to be in black and white because they're self aware and it's super meta about being on a page, and he's a comic. But everything else moving forward, they're also in black and white. But there is a color version of it. Kit is absolutely amazing, and I'll make sure that we promote her a bunch with it. I just don't know what I want. Well, like originally, I wanted it in black and white. Like I just wanted it in a nice, simple, uh, like story. It looks and they look great. And then she was like, "Hey, what about some color?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just throw some color on one, just to see what it looks like." And they look fucking amazing. So do I scrap the black and whites? Right now, the vision is that the color ones will go in the art book for year two, kind of like an exclusive, right? Or maybe I post them on the website, the color ones on websites. Um, yeah. Hey, here, take a look at the black and white. You want to see it in color? Go visit the website, like, and kind of start moving traffic that way. Will be interesting. So I haven't decided yet um, what I wanted. If I would just want to just give out the colored ones, or if I just so I do have two versions of them. So um, until I figure it out, you're gonna see all the black and whites, but they still look really good and they're fantastic. Kit, you're doing amazing. Thank you. Uh, so that's what I've been up to. I've been editing 10 different comics. So I got them all because she sends them to me all on one page, right? And then I had to like format four of the exact same pictures and then crop them all out so that way they're individual panels. Um, because I think on the socials, I need to post them as one panel at a time because otherwise you guys are trying to read it like this on the socials.
Go check.
Oh, I suck. I thought I had the one page screen of it. I don't. My bad. Sorry. But yeah. Oh, you suck. Go back. So it's a fun comic. Kit loves doing it. She's excited to be part of the whimsiness of it. Um, we worked out a deal. So right now, she's my the second official artist of Whimsy. I extended the invite that says you can continue to draw for me, but for what I mean, it doesn't give you any more money, or I'm not going to pay you more, or whatever. But I did extend the official invite that says, I like what you're doing. I hope you continue to do it. Do you want to be, in the family? So, well, you will learn a little bit more about Kit in weeks 5 and 6 of the comic. So, well, they're fun though. They're cute. A lot of Sophie stories coming up. We got Lim in the Little Whims. There's some Liam, he's in there too, but Sophie, I like what she did with the Sophie character. So, uh, look forward to those on the socials. Follow us on Patreon, patreon.com/chase and the whimsy, and I'll post um, more about the comics when they're coming out. You guys can get a first look. In theory, I posted this almost midweek, so half of you guys have already seen this comic already, so you can get early access. Maybe I put the color ones on. I could add it to the gift tier. Like if you're in one of the gift tiers, you'll get the color copies sent to you. I don't know, but we'll see about it. And that's all we got for getting to know me. Not a really exciting week. It's mostly in my head. You have an hour of it on the Mind Pockets from Saturday. For the most part, very enjoyable. There was a Toy Story reference, talking some stuff through. So it was interesting. It was fun. Commercial time. And I got
Go check out Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. Chasing the Whimsy, where a 40-year-old father and his 2 kids take a whimsical journey of fun stories and educating each other about their respective generation. Generation X squares off with Generation Z to try to connect and find an understanding between generations 30-plus years apart. They'll journey through the past and track their journey as they find out who they'll grow up to be. Again, that's Chasing the Whimsy, available today on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube as well, and you can also find the show and learn more about the hosts at chasingthewhimsy.com. Chasing the Whimsy, ChasingTheWhimsy, Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast. Many episodes up for you to listen to already. Go stream, download, and subscribe today. You can also connect and follow on Twitter at Chase the Whimsy and on Instagram and TikTok at Chasing the Whimsy.
Number 2. Pocket Watch. Man, there was supposed to be a transition page right there first. Dang it. Pocket Watch. What have I been watching this week? If you watched last week, man, as soon as we hit first of the year, fucking nothing's on television right now, man. Like, there's nothing on. One thing that was on for 2 days, last Monday and Tuesday, the final chapter of the Natalia Grace. Well, it's right there, the Curious Case, but it wasn't bad. 4 parts, 40 minutes each, 45 minutes each. It was good to see the story wrap up. Very anticlimactic. There wasn't a lot going on. They tried to build some drama on Monday with the first 2 episodes. Um, you're being brainwashed, maybe, maybe not. We're gonna kidnap you. No, we're not. I got a boyfriend like somewhere, and it's like they try to create this drama, and it didn't really pan out that well. Episode 3 got really weird and catty, like whatever. Uh, if you've followed the story over the last couple of years, ID and Max, they put out 3 parts of it. If you followed her story, you're gonna be you'll be happy that it's finally ended, right? Like, um, so I was not happy with like the presentation of it, but I'm happy with the way that it ended and that it has ended, right? So um, you can check that out. That's on HBO Max or the ID channel. I don't know what that is because I don't have cable anymore. I think mom had to watch it on ID. Um, so check your local listings. Is that a thing? Like, oh my God, when's the last time anybody said that? Okay, to be fair, there's still regular television and network TV, so maybe they say it, but check your local listings. Oh my God, that's hilarious. All right. What else have I watched? Okay. Remember last week when I was talking and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna write it down," and I was like, "No, never mind. I won't forget it." I fucking forgot it. WWE Raw the flagship show of the WWE, is now on Netflix. We talked about it a couple times throughout the last year. Um, it was on USA for like forever, and now they're converting it over to Netflix. And the what this does is now lets them stream the show live across the world at the same time. So now it is a global, like people globally are aware of it, but like you weren't always able to watch it, right? It is now on Netflix. Triple H runs the show now. He comes out, thanks Netflix, and announces that this is going to be the Netflix era. Real quick, if you know anything about the WWE, they break up a lot of their history into different eras. There was obviously the best era, which was the Attitude Era of the mid to late '90s, in which like everything was like the storylines were crazy, adult. The women were coming out wearing almost nothing. A lot more violence, a lot more blood, chair shots to the head, and then a couple of different eras in which there was they just came out of the PG era, right? They found that they were catering to a much younger demographic, so they had a PG. All the storylines, some of the language, some of the girls. So the idea that they acknowledge that this is Netflix, Triple H in the article October, November indicated that he wanted to get back to more of an attitude era. That's when the ratings were like probably the highest of its time. If you used to watch wrestling and you don't, this is going to be the best time to get back into it. That's where we're getting at. Is this is the best time to get back into wrestling? There's some stuff going on. It's not that hard to catch up on who's fighting who and where all the rivalries are. But um, over the next 5 years, you're going to start seeing the WWE do things you haven't seen since like '96. That's tonight, by the way. Every article I'm reading, right, was like Yellowstone's over. Check out American Primeval. You missed Yellowstone? Watch American Primeval. And they're like, oh, do you like the prequel stories of Yellowstone? Watch American Primeval. 6 episodes, Netflix. Uh, it's the 1850s, I think. And they're like, oh, it's super crazy. It's it's brutal and it's gory and it's. I'm not gonna lie to you. This thing was like garbage. Uh, it wasn't good. I promise you, it's not. There's stuff happening that they don't. You have the U.S. military. You got the people trying to head west, right? You got and then what they don't really allude to very clearly is that it basically comes down to uh, the Mormons of the 1850s and how they um, found their land in Utah. Like the whole thing was weird. The lady in it, like part, I don't fall for it. If they're like, oh, this is kind of like Yellowstone, it's not. This is garbage. I don't even know if I can say it was entertaining because I don't know if it was. Skip it, swipe right, or whatever. Like, no, no good. Don't watch American Primeval. You can find 6 hours to do something better. Shifting gears. That's Tim Allen. We haven't seen that guy in a while. Not to no, to be fair, he was on a different show. Um, don't tell me. I don't remember the name of the show. It's not a bad show. Kat Denning, uh, Scott Williams. It's not a horrible looking show. Okay, new sitcoms that came out last year, right? Um, Happy's Place, garbage. This is better than that. Um, I enjoyed it. Like the night. I wish shows would do because like a lot of television shows are like now 10 episodes long. I wish they would do 11, right? Give me 2 episodes for the premiere. Let me see like the dynamic between Alan and Denning was fun. It was great. She's fantastic. I fucking love her. I liked her since Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Like she's fucking amazing. The kids are fun. Um, it's not a bad looking show. It's definitely better than Happy's Place. Um, Poppy's House, it's maybe on par of that, but like it's not bad. It has there's something there. It's definitely worth giving it like 2 or 3 more weeks. Mom agrees. She enjoyed it. She's like I like it. Um, they brought in see and for the last like 3 weeks, my whole complaint is they're creating all these shows and they're just throwing you in the middle of something with zero background. At least this one, they're like they throw you in the middle of it, and you're like, oh, she moved away and she's moving back home and has kids now. Oh, but why? Boom. Fucking mom and wife died. Oh, boom. Thank you. Now I can understand what's happening. Whereas like some shows are just like, oh, we're moving back home. Shenanigans. And it's like, I don't know why you left. There seems to be a little bit of heart in this. Give it a couple of weeks. Like let's all agree to give it 4 episodes. Four is a lot. Let's give it 3 episodes. One was enjoyable. Tim Allen is playing a very fantastic. He's definitely playing a boomer and is like not shy about it. And he's just like, oh, there was a scene. He's watching the news and he's like, I don't agree with any of them. They're like, why you watch it? He's like, it's entertaining. I'm enjoying his character. So let's give it 3 episodes. Let's give it 3 weeks. So you can probably see this slide again next week. We'll let you know. Um, but yeah, let's follow this one for a minute. Let's see what they do with it. Netflix, Jerry Springer. Okay, weirdly. Okay, here's what's weird. There was a random comment that I made on Grandma's episode that says like I want to start recording some people and like maybe I just like I keep all the recordings until like like for years, right? This documentary would not have been made while Jerry Springer was alive. So like now that he's dead, boom, all the like not no. The correlation isn't like I'm gonna wait until people die so I can tell all the embarrassing stories. No, the idea is like you can keep stories and then hold on for a little while. But this thing, the rise of Jerry Springer, they did it in 2 parts, like an hour each. It was entertaining enough, like to kind of follow the rise, like how he beats Oprah. Spoiler alert! Like he topped Oprah in the charts, but where he came from, and then just like the rise and this the continual rise, and then in like all the drama that, and it never came down. When we watched last year, Quiet on Set, right? It was 10 episodes of like what was the guy's name? Brian, the producer on Nickelodeon, right? So for 10 episodes, we just railed and just hated this guy, right? Jerry Springer, there's a character like the main executive producer, like he worked for the tabloids back in the day. This guy is the most villainous person I've ever seen in my life. This guy is a monster. Like like you got monsters that do inappropriate things, but then you just have like this monster who's like, I'm gonna watch the world burn because that's what I want to do. It was interesting. It's I think it comes out to just under 2 hours. Um, I enjoyed this one. If you got 2 hours, check out Netflix. Jerry Springer Fight Camera Action. It was interesting. It was fun. Um, it's not about Jerry Springer. It's about his show and where he like because it looked like a Donahue and like it's like a regular talk show, and then just how it evolved into like madness and chaos. Um, it was interesting, but yeah, there's a watch it. There's a character in there, man. He is the worst person I've ever met in my life, and unapologetic about it. Absolutely monster. Um, check it out, Netflix. I think there's two more. No, last one. Okay, The Pit. ER meets 24. We got Jack Bauer here, right? Dr. Noah, I think is his name. I never watched ER. 15 episodes. They're going to follow his 15-hour shift in one day in an ER in Pittsburgh that they call the Pit. So you got head doctor, you got the two doctors under him, and then he's got student doctors. So for 15 episodes, we get to watch like the one day. Uh, it's it's not bad. It's good. Like I think it's actually pretty good. I don't know. I enjoyed it, and I think I'm gun shy on calling this a fucking hit because there's been so much garbage this year, and everything that I liked that got canceled last year. I did a whole fucking page of like the 12 shows that I enjoyed that like I fucking canceled after season one. So I don't want to like jinx this thing. It's not bad. There's 2 episodes in theory. I think I saw two. I swear to God, I saw 2 episodes. Some people are only seeing 1 episode. I don't know. Give it a week or two, let it build up. But I think you're gonna like it. This one actually might make my top 10 list. It was there's a lot of stuff going on. It's all the drama of like a hospital show, and then it's just like the idea that you get to follow the same patient for like the whole day. Interesting. Check out the Pit. It is a weekly, which so there's no binge. Mom's a fan of the let's build up and watch six, and then we'll wait and then watch the last six or three or whatever. So guess what's on TV? She's like, I don't wait for three or four, and then she's like, hey, there's nothing going on. I guess I can watch two. Um, she also mentioned the doc. I think just doc. Mom, grandma liked it. I have not seen it yet. I'll add it to my playlist and I'll add it in next week. But if you're looking for a hospital movie or a show, oh, Pit. Keep an eye on this guy. They're going to be doing some stuff. Um, I wish we were like big enough to the point where like, um, what was the joke I just made? Hold on. Jack Bauer. Like I wish, like side note, I wish we had enough people where like the chats would just blow up and be like, "That's not Jack Bauer." No, I get that, and I know he's not Doctor No on this show. Like, come on. I just thought for a second, like my mom jumped in, like, "That's not Jack Bauer." I'm going to me. My mom was a troll. She's like, love it. Like you just see like mom jump in and she's like, "That show sucks." Oh, that's so funny. All right. That's all I got for TV. I have to manually volume these things. Okay. I did not rehearse any of this today. I don't know what I'm going to do with. Okay. Do I have. In the past, I've mentioned the idea of doing more long form content, right? Instead of just live content or the audio content. So part of this idea was like you take similar to what I did with Bobby Fischer, um, a little bit of what I did with Tetris, the episode right before Tetris, right? Where I would find a topic and then produce it in a way that, right? So um, you get really cool YouTubers. Nick Crowley is one. Um, Blame it on Jorge. Or they find these topics and then they spend like they only post like once or twice a month, right? Because they're researching, they're gathering facts, and they're finding clips and editing it and making the whole presentation out of it. So Nick Crowley just had disturbing TV moments 6, right? It's like 33 minutes long, and you can see the tone of his videos where he takes the production value on it. It's fucking great. It's spot on, and it's one of those things where it's like I'll wait 2 weeks to see a new Nick Crowley video. I'm not quite there yet. Right now, this whole segment, right? This rabbit hole is practice for whenever I eventually start doing. Because I can't do the video editing. I can do real basics. I can put the show together. That's the extent of my abilities of fucking video editing. Okay. And then I also realized I don't have the voice for it. Um, what I mean by that is like, oh, don't break, man. Okay. Um, let's see if I just give you guys a quick example. Um, Nick Crowley. Okay. Here's his video. Hold on. It may be whoa, he's even got a disclaimer on his thing now. That's crazy. Okay, hold on. Okay, so just like real quick, I'm gonna give you guys an example of why I like lost media. I like disturbing me, like those type of videos. But the problem I'm running into is like, oh, wrong one. Um, Hold on, let's find it here, here, right? Okay, like he's got like a good speaking voice to tell weird, creepy, and disturbing um, stories, right? So, like for example, right, like listen to him. Okay, listen to him. Like look at look.
Priority, though this certainly didn't mean that results were guaranteed, as there was a severe lack of physical evidence found on the scene, making it incredibly difficult to find any definitive information as to who might have done this. And despite their best efforts,
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
a full year passed,
It's 1991
and then 2, and then 3,
Happy 2000!
then a full decade passed.
So it's like one of those things where he's got like a fucking like that sexy like voice of like I'm gonna tell you creepy shit. And I don't have that. I don't have I don't have a good creepy voice to do creepy media. Um, let's see. Hold on. Let me find you one more. There's this other guy that does it really good. Hold on. Who did I say? Blame it on Jorge. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Well, no, I don't. Never mind. Okay. So what I was trying basically, what I'm getting at is I want to get into like long form content, right? So like, what happens if I find a story? I find some lost media somewhere, right? Lost media is um, something that was recorded at one point, and then for whatever reason, um, you can't find a copy of it. Like there's episodes of talk shows in which the uh, the two people on the talk show um, end up leaving and then they kill each other, right? So then like they pull that episode off of the internet, or there's a game show where the person lost so bad that they were embarrassed and then they killed themselves. Or typically, it's somebody killed themselves, right? So the networks, they take those episodes and they destroy them, right? So they become lost media. And then every once in a while, there's found media where somebody has a VHS in which that was recorded. Uh, Mom was like, "Oh, I love this this random talk show from the '90s," and she just record all of them for whatever reason. And then like we find them in a box, and what happens is we find this one hidden episode amongst a box of VHSs, and then we upload them, and now we have found media, right? So there's a whole section of the internet dedicated to researching lost media. They're like, this commercial happened. We can't find a copy of it anymore. And then like the internet just goes crazy, and people are like, I have a copy of it. I have old VHSs. I remember that commercial, and then we upload it, right? Then there's the Mandela effect, right? There's these ideas of uh, the lame one that most people go to on the Mandela. So the Mandela effect is you remember something different than what actually was, right? Um, we need a bigger boat from Jaws. Like a lot of its lines from movies and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, this is how I remember it." It's not really the Mandela effect. I think it was this one Luke, I am your father. Those aren't the actual lines from the movie, and I think it was because years ago, back in the day, it was all word of mouth, right? So it's basically the game of telephone, where like, oh yeah, my favorite line was, Luke, I'm your father, and like, well, that's not what it is. And then so like, there's people who are like the Mandela effect, right? I think part of the original reason for the Mandela effect was people were like, Nelson Mandela died, and they're like, no, he's still alive, and they're like, no, pretty sure he died. And it's just this idea of like, uh, you remember something different than what it actually was, right? So you thought Nelson Mandela was dead. You find out he's alive. So there's the Mandela effect, and then you can get into like the craziness of it. Okay, Super Bowl 30. Okay, I may or may not have found some footage from Super Bowl 30. Maybe not. Maybe it's a Mandela effect, right? Is this lost media? Is there corruption? Was this uh, big NFL changing history, trying to hide its history? I don't know. So, Super Bowl 30, uh, back in 1996. Technically, what you guys remember is that the Dallas Cowboys won. They beat the Steelers 27-17. It was at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, right? That's what you guys all remember. You can Google it. I did. I've done the research. Like I spent like all morning on the internet. Everything that you find about Super Bowl 30 is fucking right here on this. Like basically, you got the right. Like it was Dallas and Pittsburgh. But what I have found could be disturbing. Found some footage that suggests that it wasn't the Dallas Cowboys and it wasn't Pittsburgh. Did a little bit of research on the internet, right? Could like conspiracy theory type stuff now, right? Was the game maybe like pre-recorded and that's what you guys saw? Or could there have been um, like who was it? Miami, the Dolphins, right? Maybe Miami like it was playing against somebody else. There was something happened, some controversy. Um, the few things I could find online was um, the receiver. I don't remember the name of the receiver. Got hurt, and kind of like a walk-on tryout type scenario. Um, During the Super Bowl, they're like, "Oh, receiver went down. Like, what are we gonna do?" Rumor has it that they pulled some kid out of the stadium, like in the stands, and let him play the game. And what happens is like my theory is, and I can't corroborate this in any place, anywhere, but the NFL is big enough where maybe they could change, like, to scrub the entire original Super Bowl and then just like fast track and like maybe it was like I don't know, maybe they pre-record games and then if a scenario like this happens, they just scrub the original and then they put up what you guys saw was Cowboys and the Steelers. They scrub it, it's gone, lost media. Ben sounds like a crazy person. They're like, Ben, no, it was in Tempe. People are like, I was there. They had a whole football experience. Like there's a like Tempe, from my research, was a little town in Arizona, right? College town. And when the Super Bowl came in, like fucking money everywhere. So people are like, I remember Super Bowl 30. But you can't find anybody to remember. Maybe it was with Miami Dolphins. I'm just going to large screen this. I can't do this anymore. Hold on. Why is it so dark? Why is it so dark? I didn't mean it for it to be so dark, but that is awesome. Um, so dumb. Like I hate everything about myself for doing this segment right now. I absolutely hate myself. Like this is the best thing I've ever done. Uh, so let me see if I can find a better version of this video. New. I just downloaded it today. Where are you? Hold on. Details. Videos. Why is it so dark? I don't understand why it's. Oh, here we go. Nope, still dark. I don't understand why it's so dark. I wonder if I have like a different version of it. So what eventually happened was like, okay, now to be fair, I didn't mean to make a joke about lost media, right? Because the lost media uh, community, like they're passionate about lost media, right? Didn't mean to make a joke about it, but I did find it is technically lost media. I went to the NFL experience in '96, in which they superimpose me in front of a green screen and they make it look like I was at the Super Bowl catching and then like doing victory dances. How funny is that? 1996. A tape that no one in the right mind keeps this for this long. Just a big pass. Um, how old? So what am I? 12? I'm 12 then. Like, it's like the dumbest thing in the world. I found it. I'm super happy that I found it. Like, it's adorable. I was an adorable kid. Um, I had to edit it a little bit because um, they had a song on there. I saw the sign, and if I played the original, um, I knew that they would probably like shut it down. So they copyright me. I really want to find a better version of this thing. Hold on, I'm gonna see if we can find one. Uh, yeah. So there was no conspiracy. It was Dallas and it was Pittsburgh. But that's what my short form content would look like if I was going to do a lost media video. It's like I build the suspense, like fucking. I threw in conspiracy, uh, big NFL like corruption, like start making you think like no, it was definitely that. No, it wasn't. Uh, I'll find a better version of that. That's fucking shitty. I hate that. I don't like that. It looks so dark. Like, should I make it like it's not even a sizing thing issue. Like if it was bigger, it still looks dark because and it's bright as hell on my screen. Like the original copy, like that's so lame. That was, the practice attempts for me. Um, like because I'm not going to put in a week's worth of work um, until I'm ready, right? So I just got to practice a little bit. Right now, I'm practicing my presentation of can I come up with a compelling story and keep you engaged and hooked and long enough that you guys get hoodwinked, and then you get to see a fucking 12-year-old Ben catching a football in front of a green screen, spiking it like he fucking just did something cool. It was even in my jersey. There was like a stock jersey that they gave you, so I'm just like everything just felt weird. Like how amazing is that? That's so funny. Uh, it was thought to be lost. The original tape. Rhiannon doesn't have hers anymore. She fucking threw that shit away long ago. She was like couldn't get rid of it fast enough. 12. Grover's, Michigan. Big Ren. Here. I've moved like 4 different times and it made it. It made it. How stupid is it that and weirdly, I knew with every move and every time it went from one box to the next that I wanted it somewhere. So I'm going to post it online so that way uh, this piece of lost media is now digitized and on the internet forever of 12-year-old men's trip to the NFL experience back in 1996. I liked it. Again, sorry for the hoodwink. Like, what's the worst part about it is, like, if it played like I wanted it to play and like how it looked on this computer, like, it would have been perfect. But no, I set up this stupid joke. Like, that's the most whimsy thing I've done all day now. Is I set up this thing for you guys to get, and then all of a sudden it's like I can't even see the joke, Ben, because it looks dark and fucking so upsetting. Oh, and I remember setting this. That's why you guys come to Whimsy Nooners is be like, let's see if Ben can fuck up another project. But you get what I was getting at. That's all that matters. All right. No more commercial. We're wrap up.
Hey there, Whimsy fans. We wanted to take a moment away from the fun to express how much your support and contributions mean to us. If you're liking what you're hearing from us so far, we'd like to invite you to show us some love on our new Patreon. Starting at just $1 a week, you can help us keep the whimsy coming. That's not just our podcast, but live streams and new projects on the horizon as well. All members get special shout out during our live streams. If you're comfortable giving a little more, please take a look at our gift tier. These gifts are hand-picked by the Whimsy crew to bring more curiosity, fun, and whimsy to you as thanks for your support. Every little bit counts, and whether you support us by listening and subscribing to our podcasts, holding court on our lives, or subscribing to our Patreon, Thank you for helping us keep the magic alive and the mics on. You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/chasingthewhimsy or follow the link on our YouTube channel at Chasing the Whimsy. Thank you again for all the support. Whimsy!
I gotta keep. Every show is just a copy paste from the previous, and I take out the slides and I put the new slides back in. So this is an old version that doesn't have Courtney on it. But Andy, Nikki, your family, Megan, your family, Joyce, Ann, Enderfrog, AC1, Gooster, Nina, Violet, Anna, my dad, Courtney. Thank you guys for the subscription on the Patreon. Uh, Appreciate the support. It lets us do cool, fun stuff. Um, the big thing for 2025, the reason why we got to build this number up is because we will be donating a portion of your subscription fee to the Family Assistance Program for a local school, Title I school, helping low-income families. So it's a new tradition that we're doing. I'm doing. First year that I've brought the Patreon people involved. You want to support me? Help me support kids who don't get presents. Is basically what it comes down to. If you don't help and subscribe, you don't want kids to have presents. Can I do that? Like, can I scare tactic into subs to be like, hey, if you don't subscribe, like, you're a horrible person. But you're not. Sign up, take a look at the free. Sit in the free Patreon, hang out in the community a little bit, see some cool pictures of the coasters and the ornaments. We got blankets coming up. I think I'm officially going to announce it. We're going to do blankets. I don't know what blanket we're doing yet. Merch R&D manager suggested we get away from the logo for a minute and we try and show off some other cool stuff that we've done here at Whimsy. And we're going to try and do that. Liam has been tasked with coming up with half of the blanket, and I'll put the rest of it together. But yes, sign up for the free Patreon. Don't give me anything yet. Look at what we're doing, what we're coming up with, some of the cool stuff, and then sign up when it's appropriate. We just came out of the holidays. Totally get it. It's first of the year. New Year's resolution. You want to be a better person? Boom. Help us out. Let's help out the kids. We did hint at creating like a one-time payment that would go straight to the holiday fund. There's no tier for it, so I had to put it in as a digital product. So it's not live yet, but we are working on a way that if you don't want if you're me and you got commitment issues and you're like, I don't know if I can give you the $4 a month, but I'll give you one $20 donation, $25 donation. We're working on getting that on the Patreon so that way you can just do the one-time donation if you want. Order two of those then maybe, screw it. So we're going to do that. We're going to update the slide. We're going to add a new slide because one, we need more space for all the people that we're going to be getting, right? And then we're going to do another slide that will track the progress of how much we've actually raised for the school this year. Right now, as of today, $512 is how much we've already raised. The goal is to get it to 1,000 or more. I mean, that'd be fucking crazy great. But the goal is 1,000. We're at 512. So we're going to promote the Patreon more. You can help out the kids. You can help me out a little bit. You can get a sweet blanket. The blanket's very soft. And it's going to be a Whimsy exclusive. I'm not making extras of these as of right now. It's just not there's no, like, to be fair, like, if I can barely get 12 of you to sign up for the Patreon, like, why am I going to build and make 50 blankets? Because 160 wooden tokens. tokens. When I first started, like I was super excited. I'm like, oh man, like I listen to Telling Steve Dave. I see how everybody else is doing it. I'm like, everybody's already made the roadmap for me. I'll make these tokens. We'll be out in a week. Oh no, they're not. To be fair, I haven't sold them. I haven't done anything with them. I got to a point where I was really discouraged about merch, and I just started talking about them. But technically, they exist. There's a chance when you guys will all get you'll get one of those probably one day. But uh, Patreon.com/chasing the whimsy. Look at it. Hit the free. Look at the pictures, and then come hang out. Give me $4. That's all it is. Uh, but I appreciate all you guys who support in any way. That's my main thing is would I like your $4? Obviously, yes. But if you can't get it, don't worry about it. At least sign up for the free. There's no reason like that's kind of like where it starts. It's like there's no reason not to sign up for the free. Oh no, you get a picture like twice a month of some cool shit that I'm making. Oh no, like come on, get real. Sign up for the free and then upgrade later. Uh, that's all we got for you guys. Hour, uh, hour 11, hour 20. 10 of you been here for most of the day. I don't know where we're at on the monetization. The numbers keep moving back and forth. YouTube goes in and somehow okay, for example, like if you guys are cute and you're like, well, I'll just create a new YouTube account and I'll just fucking watch it on there. If you do that and it's the only thing that you watch, like sometimes like or like repeatedly. So if like you create some rando account and you just keep playing the same video over and over and over, trying to help out, in theory, the account looks suspicious at that point, and YouTube removes some of those views. So um, there are people who have just multiple accounts, and they're like some of these like these subscribe farms, right, where there's got phones everywhere, and they're just like refresh, refresh, refresh. So we're close. We're within 20. It was 7 on Saturday, and I think today's 10. So somewhere we lost 3 hours worth of view, um, which is fine. And it could be one of those things too, where the promotion that we did for Christmas, the video promotion, right? They might be looking at some of those promotions and be like, oh, you don't you can pay for the promotion and we'll push traffic to the page, but you can't use those hours towards the 4,000 that we need. So I'm just monitoring it. We're keeping an eye on it. The 10 of you today for an hour and a half, that's good for 15 hours. So I appreciate you guys. All of you. Really do. That's all we got. Check out Road to 100 on the regular podcast. Uh, Pinky is coming back. So she will be on the last Friday's Whimsy with the Z. She's been out for 2 months. So we'll have her back. That's about it. You guys have a good rest of the day. And we'll talk to you later. Whimsy.